Welcome to the Connected Spirit Podcast, a space where the mystical and the human experience merge, where we explore what it really means to walk a spirit-led path. I'm Courtney Dawson, an ethical medium and mentor, and for as long as I can remember, I have felt the presence of the spirit world. But my journey hasn't been simple. It's been one of self-discovery, healing from religious and emotional trauma, navigating fear, judgment, and the loneliness that comes with embracing something the world doesn't always understand. This podcast is here to take what was once considered woo and bring it into the real lived experience of being human. Because mediumship isn't just something we do, it's who we are. Here we dive into the conversations no one else is having, breaking down misconceptions, exploring the unseen, and normalizing the journey of deep connection. We'll talk about the beauty and the struggle of being a medium. We'll laugh, we'll reflect, we'll go deep. And most importantly, we'll remember who we are, why we're here, and how spirit moves through us all. So if you've ever felt something more, if you've ever questioned the unseen, or if you're simply ready to embrace the fullness of your spiritual path, you're in the right place. Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to the Connected Spirit Podcast. Today, I have the privilege of interviewing an incredible medium, and today we are going to be chatting and getting to know Sue Hind. She is a spiritual medium, teacher, and best-selling author of Born to Hear. Sue demonstrates her unique ability anywhere spirit takes her. This remarkable woman delivers extraordinary proof of evidence of survival. She was born with a severe hearing impairment, but soon learned that she could hear spirit. Hence why the book is called Born to Hear. Sue, welcome to the show, love. So good to have you here.
Hello. Yeah, thank you for having me here. It's so lovely to meet you. Being met before and getting that long face to face. It's wonderful to see you. Yeah,
It's
thank you
great
for
to
having
have.
me.
Oh, you're welcome. Sue, for listeners meeting you for the first time, how
Yeah.
would you describe who you are and the work that you do with spirit?
Okay, what do I have? What do I do? Well, I demonstrate my platform medium. I do one-to-one readings. I teach, all different forms of mediumship, how to people open up, to spirit world, how it works, the mechanics of mediumship. But my passion is, to get spirit messages out there, really, because spirit want to share their knowledge, really, to the world. Yeah. So I'm passionate about that.
Beautiful. Now, let's go a little bit earlier on in your life. You were born with a severe hearing impairment,
Yeah.
yet your book is called Born to Hear Spirit. Let's go a little bit back to those early days. How did you find out you were deaf, and then what led up to you being able to hear the spirit world?
Okay, that was very interesting because I was born deaf because my mum had German measles when she was carrying me. She was pregnant, and so obviously when I was born, they didn't know I was actually deaf at first. But I did the hearing test, the usual hearing test, what babies have. I passed all of them. And but it wasn't until I was like 16, 17 months old that my mum dropped like a saucepan or a frying pan in the kitchen, and it was very loud. I didn't even flinch. And so she got behind me, started clapping, making noises. So she realised I couldn't hear her. So that's when she got me to take me to hospital, get it all investigated. They did tests, things like that, and they realised that I was actually deaf. So that's when I started to wear hearing aids, like the box ones. This is what happened to them when I was first small. But then when I was about 7, start wearing normal hearing aids, what you wear in your ears. So, but just how that helped me connect, strong connection with spirit world. When I was 3, I don't remember this, but my mother, she saw me talking in midair, talking to people. Well, I don't remember that. So young. So, but what I do remember, no, family members, and my granddad passed when I was 5. So I do remember that. I remember seeing him, talking to him, family members I knew, people I didn't even know. So that was the start of talking to people. Like I'm seeing you. And so that had all those experiences every now and again along the way throughout my life. So, but I had that inner voice, inside me, that inside my head and what I was hearing. Also, occasionally outside of my, hearing as well, I would hear. And so, yeah, so I feel because I'm in my own inner world. So, because I have no distractions, from hearing people like yourself. So they hear things around, whereas I don't have so much of that. And so I believe that's what makes me strong connected spirit world, you know. Yeah. And so that was the starting point. And so that's how it started from in my beginning of my life. Yeah.
So it started when your mom got the German measles and she was pregnant with you, and they find out when you're younger, not even 2 years old, you actually are deaf. But you're also connecting with the world of spirit.
Yeah.
Did you maintain that connection throughout your entire life? Or was there a moment in time like some teenagers have where they they kind of get focused on being a teenager, living a life, and they push those abilities aside? Or did you always stay connected to them?
Well, I mean, well, I'll be honest with you, I never want to do mediumship. I never want to do it, but it's always been there. Spirit world, it's always been there. I've never gone away. So they've always been there talking to me. I'm like, well, I just thought it was normal, you know. And so I've obviously had experiences growing up, teenagers, things like that. But there's things that I've had experiences that unexplained, like well, it's in this book actually, what's in here, what happened, throughout my life when I was a child and throughout when I lived overseas as well. And I've had a lot of experiences. So when I was a teenager, I had a lot of experiences with spirit as well. So it never went away, you know. Like I had that experience with German soldiers, I was on holiday in Germany and well, fuck with Dunkirk. Is that France, isn't it? Yeah, and that's what my parents. We were staying in this like German hat, like hotel. It did look like it was back in the World War II, and so I saw German soldiers in the bedroom I was sleeping in, and I saw five. And so one came over my bed. I was like, "Go away, go away!" 'Cause obviously, didn't really understand because it was I was scared because I didn't know him, So yeah, things like that really. And I've always had, well, even when I was a child in bed, I've always had people in my bedroom, you know, and so it's people around me. So it's like it never went away. But now it's almost like because I know that they're here, I trust them. So it's something in the mind as well, not just physically seeing. Just if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely. Now, in your book, you've talked about how your deafness actually enhanced your intuition. Can you share how that's
yeah.
actually worked for you and how you experience spirit communication differently, really because of that?
Yeah, where's the kind of a knowingness with that intuition, because because I know spirit will never let you down, never let me down, never
Yeah.
have. When spirit has guided me, my spirit guides, there are things, like happening in my life. So for example, like when I moved back to England after living overseas, this was obviously I was married and with children. And because I did ask about why didn't you do it in when I was 20s. He said, well, because you had your children to look after and your husband going away because he was in the armed forces. So it wasn't the right time. So but it was the right time when I'd moved back to England. But that you've got work to do. I was like, oh, what? Then what spirit? What? I said, no, no. So, but it was out of my hands really. So because people coming to me said, "Oh, I want you to teach me. I want you to give me a reading." It just went on from there because I had my own business because I was a beauty therapist, and so I was doing treatments and the spirit was coming in. Wouldn't leave them alone. So, like, I got a message, so but I didn't want to say it, but it was like I could not help it. Yeah, it just went on from there really, and so when people start saying, "Oh." I want to have a reading. I was like, yeah, no, yeah, because they heard from other people that I was gave them messages. So it just it escalated really, and and that's when I started a circle because people were saying to me, "I want you to teach me." So, but after 5 years going well, my spirit goes that closer. You know, even when it was going well, that you need to evolve, need to grow. Because I was doing workshops, I was doing spiritual retreats, I was, you know, it was getting, you know, getting busier. And so, yeah. So, and then platform work. So, when I started doing platform work, I started in churches and thought that was it. Just worked it. I was loving it. I was enjoying it. And it's a bit like you need to put your own funnies. So I did one for charity. I didn't think anyone would turn up. And but it was for, you know, 50 people came. So I did it for charity. And this is bits of like book a fan. So it just went on from there really. So it just moved, you know, a lot, you know, with my career. So but yeah, so it's about if I could help one person give that healing message, that's what matters. Yeah.
And that's the true essence and heart of an ethical evidential medium is really this work is about following spirit's lead
Yeah.
and putting our own ego aside and going, Spirit, you lead, I'll follow. And this is why you've been able to make such a beautiful impact in the world with the work that you and Spirit
Yeah.
do. Now, Sue, what inspired you to actually sit down and write your life story of all of these years of working with Spirit?
Wow, because my spirit guy said, you need to write a book. I was like, oh. And I was like, so I start writing notes. But it took me years. It's when I moved here 2008 in England. That's when 2009 when I started writing notes about experiences, things like that, one-to-one reading, messages to churches. Because I was a working medium really 2011. And so I started writing more notes from that as well as all my you know normal life, you know, family, personal relationships, things like that. And so the spirit wanted me to share it, you know, all the messages that was received. I think because they said because I've got no of anything around me, you know, to get just give that proof, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And that's what he's saying. So but it's about well, people just want that reassurance, don't they? You know,
Yeah.
but for me, it's about delivering what they give me for them to do it. So for how I felt inspired is hearing people's stories, really, you know, the messages and, but I knew back then it wasn't the right time to get it out. I had to do more, you know, throughout the years. So it wasn't until my dad passed in 2022. So I kept getting signs from him. His initials like Laurie, showing me the book, and my guides was telling me that you need to get on with it now. And and it was like, okay, but but this time it was much quicker, you know, getting it
Mm.
sorted, you know, in 2024. And I think 2026 now, aren't we? Yeah, yeah. And so 2024, that's when I start get put together. And then I got someone to proofread it. And so I contacted the publisher. So from the moment I signed the contract, I don't know if you're familiar with number 11, because I am number 11, 11, 11. I always see that, like connect with the angels, things like that, spirit world. And because there's another story about that, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. And but I actually signed the contract on the 11th of November, you know, which is
Wow.
11/11. My birthday, you know, in November as well. So that was signed. And then on the 14th, which was my birthday, I got an email from the cover for the book. So it was that quick, you know, and they start on the cover. So it was like a sign, you know. So and then everything it was all done within 3 weeks, you know, getting it from sign to when it was published. So it's very, very quick. So I knew it was meant to be. But the story about the number 11 from the angels, because I was born at 10 to 11, born the 11th month, my birth name adds up to 11, so it has a special meaning for me. And but it also connects with the angels, because in fact, I didn't really believe in the angels till I was much older, but I've always believed in the spirit world. And so when I was living in Northern Ireland, my grandma passed, and I kept seeing angels. I had my very first meditation, and well, I did Reiki level 1. I just thought, oh, I'll go along, to see what it's about. Did meditation. Very first time I saw my grandma, and I saw an angel with her, and I was like, wow, I was blown away. And so from then on, I kept receiving white feathers everywhere. I kept putting them in the bed, and they were everywhere. It wasn't from the bedding, I promise you. And they were everywhere in the house, on my clothing, in my car. So I went to see my friend in Yorkshire, flew over, and it was by my feet on the plane. So I was like, oh, okay, you've got my attention now, because I found one in my handbag, and it was in the most odd places. So I thought, right, okay, you've got my attention. And then we moved back to the UK, here in England, where I live now. And I opened the curtains one day, and the garden was covered in white feathers. And I went out there and counted it. My husband said, "Yeah, what are you doing?" He thought I was mad. And so I got a bag and started picking them up. I counted 1,864 feathers. Yeah, in the garden.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, so I knew the angel trying to show me, that I'm on the right path, keep going. But I also hear music from them as well, because I was sitting there in the front room having lunch, and I thought, where's that music coming from? It was like really loud, and I thought, I'll check the stereo, check the TV, but turned everything off and it made sure, and there was no one else in the house. Checked the whole house, nothing but a way back and forth. It's still going, and so every now and again I still hear that, but nothing what like you hear here though. It's completely
Wow.
different. It is the most beautiful sound you can ever hear. Think of like the I don't know, like Israel Symphony Orchestra, but it's on a different level. It's beautiful, and I see colours as well when I hear that, and so it's something you can't explain. And so yeah, so that's my experience with white feathers, and I've seen it a few times since, but I saw another time with the shape of a crescent, the new moon. And I thought, you can't make it up, honestly.
No.
No, so yeah, so it's so what you people when you talk to people about that, you think, well, it's up to them if they believe you or not, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, people have experience. I mean, I'm like a cat with 9 lives. In fact, so yeah, car accidents. As far as I've survived them, so without a scratch, things like that. Yeah. So just think.
Because you're here to make an impact. You and Spirit have work to do, Sue.
So I'm not meant to be in the spirit world yet.
No, they're like, this lady isn't going
No.
anywhere yet. We're not done with her.
Yeah.
Sue, you've studied at the Arthur Findlay College in England. I've been there a couple of times. I love it.
Yeah.
You trained
Oh,
with,
we've been there.
yeah, you've trained with world-renowned mediums. How did that formal training
Yeah.
shape the medium
Oh,
and the
yeah.
woman that you've become today, who's teaching it and
Oh, yeah.
demonstrating?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because even though I was a working medium when I first went to the college, um, but I went on Tony Stockwell's course first
Yeah.
outside of the college, and because yeah, so I went on his course. He got me there really. He said, "Come on, I'm doing a course there." I said, "Come along." So that's when I first started going to college, and so it really. I mean, polished my mediumship, if you like, even though I was doing it, but it was like the true meaning of the message from spirit more, if that makes, and the deliverance more, really. Yeah. So that did help with me with that way. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I've worked with different teachers as well. So yeah.
It's a great place to go to get that formal training, to connect with so many like-minded people. And when they
Yeah,
have the course organizer, they'll have maybe 4 or 5 other tutors that are helping them. So you get these different experiences and angles
yeah,
of working with mediumship through different lenses. And then you can take it and allow it to inspire your own unique mediumship. And you've done that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, because sort of different experiences, isn't it? You know, for
Yep.
different people, it's that when you different things. I mean, it's like different careers as well for me. I don't you've had different careers in my life. I've done different jobs, but I do believe you do those different jobs for a reason to how you are what you do now. You know, isn't it? Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. For readers who are getting their hands on your book, Born to Hear, they might be grieving or questioning what happens after we experience physical death. What do you hope that they're actually going to take away from your book?
Well, I feel it probably give them a bit of hope, really. Give them that bit of sense of, oh, I can understand now. You know, I understand that bit, or that little bit in the book. You know, like something that's in there. What they might read from other people's messages, really. You know, things like that, or how I teach, or the teachers about how you connect with spirit. So people think they're making it up. You know, think that, and they think you know, 'cause people think it's only just for the few who could be. I mean, but no, it's for anyone. You know, anyone, because we've all got that intuition. So I do believe that. And like when we were children, people, some children forget when they get older. So they probably don't remember or forget in the material world. So I feel this book will help people to give them that insight, really. You know that spirit is always there. They never go away. Our loved ones are always there. And it's also to help them to understand a bit more, really, you know, what they might find reading on different pages in the book. Yeah.
Beautiful. Sue, you wear lots of hats. You are a teacher, you're a healer, you're a demonstrator, you're an author,
Yeah.
you're a wife. Like, how has writing this book changed the way that you show up in your work as a medium? Because you've got all of this time to reflect on your experiences, and obviously, Spirit was inspiring you to write the book. How's that
Yeah.
shown up in your work that you do now?
Well, I mean, the healing as well, especially because I've done a lot of different healing modalities, you know, like I started off making, but I did crystal healing, um, esoteric healing, EIP. I've done lots of different healings, so I really loved it. So, but I do believe that does enhance the mediumship side as well. And because I have found now that's coming into my courses now, you know, like when I'm teaching all these different things that I've learned along the way. So, because it's like, how can I put it? Because I believe that it's not just psychic work, mediumship work, or things like that. I do a bit of soul work as well on the courses as well because it helps them because we need to be better in ourselves as well as a person, you know, let go of
Absolutely.
things, what's holding ourselves back, you know, things like that. So, oh, why aren't I progressing it that bit or that part? It's probably something's holding them back for some reason, you know. So I teach that, you know, or why don't I just guide them through it, basically, you know, whatever spirit we take, you know, do at that moment, you know, or the angels, whatever. So I do a bit of both. And so I have got courses coming up as well this year. So, but yeah.
Amazing. I love that.
Yeah,
And that's such a holistic approach to the mediumship development. There's the spiritualization of self in addition to learning the mechanics of mediumship. That's so
yeah,
beautiful. So there's balance in the work.
yeah.
Sue, as you're looking ahead to 2026, what's next for you? Do you see like
Oh,
another
wow.
book,
Oh,
another project, maybe another chapter that's unfolding with Spirit's guidance for you?
wow. I'll just go with the flow, really. So yeah, just go with the flow. But well, I just go with the flow. I mean, I have the project coming up, like courses that I have on my website, and so things like that. Like demonstrations, things like that. So I do feel, because I don't really, uh, like push myself too much. Try to do things at the moment, if you like.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
For those that are listening, before we wrap up, we want to get to know you a little bit more outside of the medium and the author and the teacher.
Medium author. Okay, yeah.
What is one unexpected thing that would shock our listeners about you? Something that you do that is maybe completely opposite to mediumship, or we wouldn't expect a medium to do that.
I don't know really. Okay, so I mean, obviously, with all the messages that stand out, that I have, that will stand out for me, for people, that, I mean, there's so many. I mean, I brought, have you heard of Reggie Quay? The Reggie Quay, one of the Quay twins.
No.
Oh, that's famous gangster. So in London. And so I brought him for in one of the churches as well. I brought for American astronaut, she'd been out of space 5 times. So she's from America. That was at college when I gave her maths. And so she showed me all this astronaut, rocket and space things like that. That really stood out as well, showing me stars. I mean, that was unbelievable. You feel like, oh, am I making this up? Yeah, things like that. So for
Wow.
people, shock people, like when you give messages in the audience, like there's this girl, this woman, she came along and she'd been waiting to hear from her dad for a long time. And so he kept showing me this blue jacket, and he actually wore this blue jacket in the coffin, and that's his favourite jacket. Everyone wore blue at the funeral, things like that. So that's what stands out, really.
Wow.
So, and also 3 weeks before Christmas, I was working at Norwich Church, which is about an hour from me. There's a butterfly appeared. I was actually giving a message to someone about butterflies, and this butterfly appeared in the room, and it's winter. You don't get butterflies at this time of year. Where did that come from? All the doors were shut, windows were shut. It was incredible. It was so moving. Even the chairperson said, well, we've never ever had that before. And she said it was incredible. It was a beautiful moment for everybody. It was almost like everybody was in awe with that hope from the spirit world. So it's like that shock moment for them. Things that okay,
Beautiful.
there's something you probably wouldn't expect me to do is completely opposite of me being a me, because I'm scared of heights. I am absolutely scared of heights. My daughter wanted me to do like skydiving, for charity. Because she's for her like the condition that she's got. And so I was I couldn't say no, could I? And so for people to see me do that, they couldn't believe I was doing. My husband was shocked. He was scared of me watching me up there. Oh my God. I still can't believe I've done it. Things like that. And
Oh,
so
wow.
people were surprised I did that and I've done firewalking as well, which was years ago, before I even did work in medium. This was, oh gosh, 20 years ago. I'd done it when I lived in I was in the armed forces. We did like when I was working preschool teacher, and my supervisor said to me, oh, let's do this firewalk for charity. I was like, well, what is it? So, well, you walk on fire. And I was like, oh, am I really going to do that? She said, oh, come on. Got me all fired up to do it. That got there. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Things like that. So I've done like odd, daring things that I never thought I would do. Like go on a holiday. Me and my husband was in Italy. We walked up Mount Vesuvius, things like that. Last year, I think it was last year or the year before, we walked up Mount Snowdon. That was terrifying because the weather got a bit windy. And so we got to the top, and I wasn't going to walk back down, so we got back down on the train.
That is
Yeah.
terrifying. That would be terrifying.
So yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
That's
because
so funny.
yeah, because it
So,
got that cloudy you couldn't see. You couldn't see your face. Oh, it was terrifying. I thought, oh my goodness, what am I doing? But we got back down safely, obviously.
for those of you that are hearing your story of overcoming what many would call adversity, and you've just maneuvered through this with grace, what would you say to them that are at this place in their life where they're really feeling called to step forward into their mediumship abilities, but maybe have a little bit of nervousness about that? What would you share with them?
Yeah, but what? Okay, when the midship, so the calling, yeah. So it is a calling, isn't it? What we do,
Yeah.
I mean, we always get nervous before I do demonstration, always, because I feel like, uh, well, even if it's a little bit nervous or very nervous, it doesn't matter, does it? It's always there, isn't it? But I know that spirit will never let you down. So, but when my students say to me, um, "Oh, I can't do it," I'm always nervous. I said, "But that's a good thing, because that's what gets you into that that moment of mediumship." So yeah, so and it's almost like it's like this path now. You can't get off it now, can you? Do you? I
Yeah,
know that's the same for you. She said, but my mediumship path is my life now. It's what we do, it's who we are, isn't it? Who we aspire to be.
absolutely.
Because it's that love part of us. It's all being part of, like we live in the world of nature, isn't it? Being part of, because we're not separate. It's like the ocean and the sand, they go together. They're not separate. It's like the nature world and us, the spirit world and the physical world. It's all part of together as one. And
It's a
so
lifestyle. It's really a lifestyle
yeah,
mediumship.
so with me, it's good to be nice because it keeps us on our toes, really, doesn't it? So it's about that feeling of belongingness, knowing that you always have, spirit will always have your back. They always have you, always supporting us, always be there and help, but also keeps going. Always keeps feeling strong. Because they walk on our path beside us, giving us that support, that that unconditional love they give us as well. We just feel that. I mean, for some people, they said, oh, they turn around or they feel a hair stand when they're around. They feel like, what is that? They said, oh, well, that's spirit, that's your loved one. And they said, oh,
Yeah.
is it? I said, yeah, they're here supporting you. So they feel like, oh, they feel a sense of relief when they get told that. So that's lovely, really. Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you're nervous about starting your mediumship development journey, all of us are nervous. Nervous doesn't necessarily mean you're not meant to do it. It just means that's you're human, and
Yeah,
just really
exactly.
an invitation to lean into that trust that your spirit helpers are going to be there to walk
Yeah.
alongside you and ensure that you are there to bring the healing that you've been called to.
Mm,
Sue, can you
yeah.
let listeners know how they can get in touch with you?
Well, I've got a website and called SueHind.co. So I do reads from all over the world online if they want to get in touch with me for one-to-one reading. But I do have a waiting list, for readings because so busy. But I do have Facebook, Sue Hind Medium, on social media. I have Instagram account, so Sue Hind Medium again. I'm on TikTok, but I'm on there sometimes. So this technology. Yeah, so yeah. So but I'm mainly on Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, Sue Hind, you can find
Amazing.
me on there. Yeah.
All
Okay.
of Sue's contact info, everybody, is in the show notes. Sue, thank you so much for being on the show, for sharing your love and your light with our listeners. It's been
Oh,
so amazing to connect with you.
thank you so much for having me, Courtney. It's been lovely, like doing this interview podcast with you. And it's lovely to meet you for the first time. Yeah. So just to put face to face, like, we all follow each other on social media. So it's not to meet face to face that last, isn't it?
I love it. It's more
Yeah. So thank
personal.
you for that.
Oh, you're welcome, lovely.
The Connected Spirit isn't just a podcast, it's a remembering of who we are, a remembering of our connection to spirit, and a remembering that we are never walking this path alone. Mediumship isn't just about speaking with spirits. It's about deepening the connection to our own spirit, to one another, and to the energy that moves through everything. So as you leave this space, ask yourself, what part of this conversation stirred something within you? What connection is spirit inviting you to strengthen? If this episode spoke to you, please share it, leave a review, and connect with me on Instagram at Medium Courtney Dawson, or visit my website at mediumcourtneydawson.com. Your presence in this community matters, because connection isn't just about what we seek, it's what we are. Until next time, trust your spirit, trust the unseen world, and trust that you are always, always connected.